All right. Good afternoon, team. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. Hope you had a great time off from the markets. The last 2 weeks in the market have been very, very choppy. The market was consolidating and going sideways for most of the time. And as we can see here, that is reflected within the S&P 500 daily chart. Red bullish, I love that smile. Not sure why you removed it there, but uh, yeah, team. We have this nice consolidation. I'll just tell you right away how I feel. I think we're going to have a good week ahead of us. This is because the market was consolidating for about 2 to 3 weeks, not doing anything and just building liquidity, waiting for the moving averages to catch up, and pretty much cooling off. And finally, we're getting to a stage where we've got that liquidity from the downside, which you'll see from the way that we analyze, and then they're coming back up now, and they're trying to break this level of resistance and see some upside from here, because we just you know we were not going down. We were unable to see any downside in the markets, which tells us that the bulls were simply eating time off the clock. So what it means to eat time off the clock means you have the trend on your side. You have got your expansion. As we can see here, the bulls got their expansion, and now they pretty much went sideways for about 2 to 3 weeks, not doing anything. As we can see here, this was the 19th of September. This is the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 26th. I'm sorry, and really just not doing anything, going from support at 565.20 to resistance at 574.18. And considering that the S&P 500 is in a nice uptrend, bullish channel here, the chances of this getting some liquidity to the upside is very high. And again, the reason why I say that is because we just finished, I believe, chapter 3 on our mentorship program, and that was about market structure and trend lines. And in market structure and trend lines, we have been taught that if we get basically first we got the formation. This is where the support is created, and now anytime we get a second data, we can start our line from there, connect it to the second data, extend it all the way up so that we can catch the third projection as well as the fourth projection. So what are the trade stages within each of these stages here? Well, we want to be trading the third and the fourth stage. And so far, this is the third stage, which means this is the trade off of the trend line. So the opportunity is there for bulls to be trading that, and we will be looking to trade it above 574.18. So looking at the S&P 500, this is my analysis here. I'm going to go ahead and read it over really fast. So the S&P 500 SPY analysis, price action in the recent week, spent most of the time at the retest of 565 point support, and had 4 failed breakdown attempts from bears. So let's take a look at those 4 failed breakdown attempts. This right here was a failed breakdown attempt because this was a massive down day right at the rejection of the resistance there, and we were just unable to break any structure for the bulls there. So what ended up happening is bulls stepped in without any confirmation to the downside, and then what ended up happening is even on the third day there, bears tried to step in again to take it to the downside, and they were just unable to. And then on top of those third days, we had Friday. And we all saw what happened on Friday. Basically, bulls had a massive gap up, right? We had a massive gap up. And what we ended up doing is we sold off the gap entirely, came back down to where we gapped up, and just into the prior day, Thursday's closing session. And we can see very clear demand. As we have talked in the mentorship program team, whenever we see these wicks right here, let's just say you have a massive demand candle, right? You got a massive demand candle very close to to a level of interest, whether it be support, whether it be a gap fill. Let's just say this is an area that could potentially see demand interest. So if you see the interest happening, and then on the first one, just like me, you may not have a lot of confidence to be like, you know what, I'll trade this. I don't have confidence to trade it. It's Friday. I don't want to trade it. You wait for it to come back down again. And if you see these candles there, that's telling us liquidity. That those wicks pretty much represent liquidity. So seeing these candles there, these are all bullish signals that we will retest the high of day and even go higher. And that's exactly what we saw on Friday. So again, Friday, same as the other days. We went down, we got a bunch of liquidity, and we just failed to break down, just like the other 4 days in the market within the S&P 500. So this is why heading into this week, I have a bullish bias, and I will be trading the upside. On the S&P 500. So I do want to show you I should have done this first in the beginning. We'll do it now. This week's major U.S. economic reports and Fed speakers. I don't like the fact that we have a lot of Fed speakers. That to me is a bit scary. But what I have noticed is that with the Fed speakers back then, they were very they were very defensive. But now there's a tone change where they're saying a lot of positive things about inflation, about how the Fed is at their targets, their inflation targets and so forth, and a lot of positive things about the economy. So we do have some Fed speakers this week, and then the most important one is right here on Thursday. We got we got CPI data. So we got the core CPI that'll be coming out, and that's really going to make the market move. So I have some theories on what could possibly happen. I think it is possible that the market could end up slowly creeping its way up, just like what it does on every inflation data. Because here's my theory. Here's why I think this is going to happen. Because what happens is you get, if you have CPI data, right? This is a big event that could really change things around. And what would you do as a trader? You would basically hedge, right? You would build some hedge positions against your long positions, because this is an area where you're not entirely sure. You just don't want to risk it. I mean, for God's sake, even my barber is starting to de-risk a lot of positions. So a lot of investors are scared. But team, what I'm like, the point that I'm trying to make is that this is an area where there may be a lot of interest on the short side due to hedging reasons, due to panic, due to uncertainty, whatever reasons it may be. And what I usually see is that that ends up propelling the market higher. The short squeezes end up propelling the market higher, because usually they have their stop losses around, let's say, 576 and whatnot, thinking, oh, this is going to be hit by Wednesday after the CPI data. But what the market ends up doing is usually it ends up having those very low volume runs and just squeezes all the way to 575, 578. And now what we end up seeing is some sort of like whiplash effect. If anything, even if the data comes out to be bad, the traders will get burnt on both sides, because it'll just throw them out of their short positions, force them to go long. And now, just as they go long, the market pretty much whiplashes back down, hurting them both ways, pretty much. So I'm thinking this may be the case here, just because of the liquidity that we got here. So all of these days here, this liquidity now gives it the momentum to actually try and break that level of resistance there, which was unable to break for 4 days. So this 574 will be the first target that I'm looking at. If the market opens at 572, I may enter SPY calls expiring on Friday or next Friday, and my targets will be 578, and then 581. Those are my targets for now. So it is possible that we could head there before CPI data, but very, very likely, if everything goes well for the bulls here, and bulls really step in on Monday, and let's say Nvidia report goes well, Nvidia summit goes well on Monday, and Nvidia will have a big green candle. This will really be the perfect catalyst, I think, for CPI data to just be the extra liquidity to try and get the bulls to 581. So overnight, maybe they'll get there after the CPI at 581. But yeah, if Nvidia does do well, if Nvidia continues to get that momentum to the upside and leads the chip sector, I think this can head towards 130 and even 135. So now let's go over my watch list. We talked about the S&P 500. Uh, that one, like we said, this is looking bullish for the reasons that we talked about, and this is on the daily chart. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, you'll notice that we have the TTM squeeze resetting, which means that now we have the fuel to get that expansion above this level of resistance as we would in an uptrending market. So we'll see how this goes, but honest to God, so far the setup is good to me. I'm going to trade it. And if the trade goes wrong, make sure you have your stop loss at, let's see, where did I say the stop loss? Give me one moment, please, team. So considering we failed to break down almost all week, bulls are likely to step in at the break of 574.18 towards 581 and then 578 and then 581. With the TTM squeeze reset, we now have the field to advance. Below 569.73, team, write this down. Below 569.73, the ball will be back in the hands of the bears to break down with further increased strength now, and this will be because we will be, if we go down there, it means that we rejected the break of 574. So if we go down below 569.73, this is what it means for the market, and this will really send us down. So you want to be out of your trades with a stop loss at 569.73 for your bullish trades that you pick up this week. But so far, as long as we get above 574, I'm bullish to 578 and then 581 by the end of the week. Now, let's take a look at our QQQ analysis. Despite an early fake breakout operation, bulls still rebounded above the 584 resistance level. So I'm going to go ahead and open this chart here. This was the resistance on QQQ at 484. Resistance, resistance, resistance. And what we are seeing now is even though we saw a fake early breakout, we came back down below the level of resistance, which was the breakout. Bulls just stepped right back in, and now they ended up closing Friday session above the level of resistance, turning it into support, which is bullish. So let's take a look at QQQ here. QQQ is looking really good, and I think bulls can continue to step in on QQQ to try and head towards this gap fill here, right at that level at 496.30. So if bulls do step in on QQQ above 484.37, our target is 496 gap fill on QQQ. Now let's take a look at the analysis, see if I did mention any other. This is bullish heading into this week with bulls now advancing towards 396 gap fill left over from July 16th with a stop loss at 484.37. Okay, team. So again, make sure you have your stop loss at 484.37, and anywhere above 484, you can enter a call towards 496 on QQQ. So far, so good, team. If so, let's move on to our QQQ analysis. So let's take a look at why QQQ is actually strong. Let's take a look at some of the stocks. This is Apple here. And what I have noticed from Apple, I've been staying out because it's been, I've seen something very unusual from it. We have this bullish pennant formation here, this bullish pennant. And instead of heading back down to retest the lower support of the bullish pennant, bulls just broke out and they just have been consolidating, digesting above that and holding really well. Even the bad news, Apple held it really well, and it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if bulls are going to step in, break above, pretty much take that big supply candle out and get above 229. Once they get above that level of resistance, that sends it all the way to 237. I'm not sure if this is going to happen, but we will see. We will see. Now, let's take a look at some other stocks. Mostly what is really making QQQ strong is NVIDIA. So I forgot to mention that, team. If you notice from my watch list, there are two sectors, there are two industries that are showing strength. we got the banking sector, financials, and then we also have semiconductors, which are NVIDIA, AVGO, AMD, Dell, which we will take a look at. So taking a look at NVIDIA, these are the leaders for the QQQ. And as we can see from the NVIDIA 4-hour chart, it looks like bulls do have that breakout. Are they going to be able to continue towards 131? That's my next target for the bulls if we continue to remain above 120. So above 120, I'm bullish towards 131, 135, and then new historic all-time highs towards 140s heading into November, because by then Blackwell revenue is going to show, and they'll be making some milestones on that. So NVIDIA, I'm bullish on that. AMD, I'm also bullish on semiconductors. As we can see, this is AMD on the 4-hour time frame, and it's been doing exactly what we have been anticipating. This is the daily chart, and so far they're just heading towards that level of resistance at 186. So it could be a good momentum trade, honestly. But yeah, semiconductors are leading the QQQ, and a good way to really play the tech momentum is to play through QQQ. Now, there are some other really good tech leaders, such as Meta and some other good ones. AVGO is another great one. So if we take a look at the semiconductors here, such as NVIDIA, this is the weekly chart. The weekly chart looks really, really good. And so yeah, if the events go well, this could really see a nice squeeze operation on this breakout with a massive green candle either this week or next week. AMD looks the same as well. AMD had first, as we can see, this was the formation of that uptrend after a really strong bear market in 2022, and 2023, that was really good. 2024, it's been really good, and so far we have a really nice uptrend formation there. Second establishment, third trade off of the trend line, fourth trade off of the trend line, and it looks like we're heading towards 207 in the next 6 months or so. So I'm bullish on AMD as well. Dell is another stock. Dell is also looking to set up for some nice upside for those of you that like it. I mentioned this one because some of our team really like this stock, and this is looking really good. The bulls are back above the 200 simple moving average line. They're really making those higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and they're looking to make the next higher high at 134.32. We do have a nice uptrend there, and like I said, this is the third test, and this is why I'm looking at it, because the third test is the trade-off of the trend line, as well as the fourth test being a trade-off of the trend line. So for those of you that like Dell, it's looking good here. So now that we talked about Dell, let's go ahead and cover. Now let's cover my favorite trades for the week, team. Some of my favorite trades that I think will do really well. Financials are looking very strong within the 11 sectors of the economy, and they could get some beautiful upside heading into this week. Now, there are some earnings going on, but if you maneuver through them, I think you can get some amazing trades on this, especially heading into CPI data. This is XLF, the financial sector, and these are the stocks that are in XLF. We'll take a look at. So we got XLF, the financial sector, broke out of the bullish pennant formation and advancing towards historic all-time highs. This means banks, bank stocks, JPM, WFC, Berkshire Hathaway, Morgan Stanley, GS, AXP, C, which is Citigroup, Schwab. This is First Citizens Bank, I believe, FCNCA. The stock is like $1,900 a share. COF, all of these stocks are looking very strong. If I show you some of these setups here, this is COF, and COF options wise, I'm not sure if I should get the team in. Very expensive, but my goodness, look at this bullish ascending formation. Very strong setup. Could really rip hard, advance hard. JPM is another one. JPM, like our teammate said, Crafty said JPM is set up to run up. I agree, because JPM has been inside of this bullish channel. We have been going from support resistance, support resistance, support resistance, support resistance. back to support, and so far we have created a double bottom because we had a massive supply bar. So it takes a lot of energy to try and curve back up against it. And so far they're looking good. So is earnings going to be that is going to give us that big weekly candle where we will go from, let's say, from 212 all the way to 219, countering that supply candle with a bigger demand candle? Or are we going to bear flag from here and then head down? I think the chances of us going higher is more likely. So Rain Bond is holding a trade for this one. She's holding JPM June 20, 250 call. It is a further out strike, but she has the advantage of time. And if JPM does end up having a bullish catalyst from earnings, this one can go towards this level of the level of resistance up there around the 240s, making that contract nicely profitable far before the due date. So JPM is looking good now. WFC is another one, another bank stock that we are trading for the team. And for this stock, I'm already in a trade. I'm already in a trade for WFC. And let's take a look at the analysis. So this is the daily breakout. And for this particular trade, I'm holding, we're currently in January 17, 2025 for 57.50 strike. Okay, team, if you want to pick this up, it's WFC January 17, 57.50 call. And I believe it's trading at 3.0 right now, maybe a little bit higher. I think we're up like 30% on this contract, but so far it looks good. And you can enter on Monday session for a nice momentum trade. So to go with the inflows of the SPDR sectors within these, you see on Friday, this is Friday session, XLF there, the financials. This one was leading with almost over 1.5% close. We also had consumer discretionaries. This is Amazon, and this is Amazon, Tesla, HD, mostly HD, because I think that stock has really been running up and gaining a lot of market share. So if we go to XLY, this is really gaining a lot of market share at 8%, catching up to Tesla at 13%. Very interesting. XLK, which is the this is the technology. This is where NVIDIA and a lot of chip stocks are in. Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, AVGO, CRM, Oracle, AMD. So speaking of Oracle, team, I got two momentum trades for you today. Okay. First, we got the financials, which is where we believe rotation is flowing into, and we also anticipating rotation flowing into, continuing to flow into semiconductors. But one of the stocks that I have that's strictly a momentum trade is Oracle. I have Zoom as well, but I'm not entirely certain about Zoom. But this is a very strong one. Oracle. This is a bullish momentum trade. So you have heard me talk about this strategy before. Bullish momentum trade. Bullish momentum trade strategies are different from our usual trades. These are trades that we expect we expected to go up a good amount within that given week, and we usually take a shorter term approach. So whether it be a 1 month expiration, 2 weeks out, usually the point of these kind of trades is to get anywhere above 75%. So yeah, you may lose 50% if you get stopped out of the trade. But the potential on this is you can get anywhere above 150%, 200%, 250% usually. And this is because you have a short-term strike price and the stock just has an explosive momentum move. So this is a good one. Oracle, it's been consolidating for some time and could start to see more upside heading into this week. Now, that's a bullish momentum trade. We talked about JPM. We looked at WFC. We said that was good. And now let's take a look at, we looked at Dell as well. Now, this is another momentum trade here, actually, team. Sorry. There's another momentum trade, MSTR. Now, MSTR, this one was consolidating inside of this massive symmetrical formation. And this stock, MicroStrategy, is finally getting ready for that massive explosive move where it's trying to go from a rally base. It had a nice consolidation and looking very strong, and it looks ready for another rally towards the 210 area. So MSTR, if any of you trade this stock because it is a top cryptocurrency technology stock, you can go ahead and pick that up to trade with crypto, because I did see that Crafty was talking about crypto ripping. So let's take a look. Yeah, crypto is really ripping here, and honest to God, this looks interesting. This looks good, because what I have been waiting for Bitcoin is I've been watching it pretty much consolidate this massive imbalance move. So we had this move all the way from 25,000 to 74,000, and so far all we have given back is we have gone down for a retest of 49,000, and we're currently trading at 62,000. So they're still trading far above where they broke out, and this means that they're eating time off the clock. And as long as they stay above the 20 EMA line, I expect them to get back for another big expansion towards 100K in the next, I would say, year or so. We'll continue to watch this one, but yeah, I've been watching it and just watching it consolidate. I feel like this candle on the weekly could possibly could get above 66,000, and if they get above 66,000, this can really trigger the bulls to step in for Bitcoin. All right, team. Let's see. What else do we have to cover? Oracle. Again, you know what? I don't want to be biased, so I'm just going to go ahead and mention it. Zoom was another one that showed up on that is what I call a momentum trade strategy. It goes in my momentum trade strategy, and it has a cup and handle setup, so it could be a good bullish momentum trade. But yeah, I'm not going to be biased. I'll just mention it for the team and let you deal with it. Now, I do have some long-term trades, team. These should rather be on the weekly watch list. Sorry, monthly watch list instead of the weekly watch list. But yeah, these are all long-term trades. Bill stock, BILL. This one is really starting to break out of this bullish falling wedge formation that has been in play for about 4 years now, for the past 4 years, and it could be a good trade opportunity to the upside. So we're finally breaking out, and it looks like we really have a lot of fuel to try and get some upside. So if you're going to trade it, you can go ahead and pick up a January 17 65 call. January 17 65 call. Currently trading at 3.0. You could probably, yeah, you could pick it up about 2.90 to 3.0 this week. I think this will be a really good trade and could see some expansion. I have another one now. ALB is a lithium stock. This is a lithium stock, and as we can see, this is really starting to get a lot of momentum on the short-term trend. Looks like it may finally break the lower high structure and pretty much go into an uptrend market. So if we go to the weekly chart here, this is the weekly chart, and this is the weekly chart, and so far we have broken this week that we just passed. This recent week, we broke this 3-year downtrend. We finally broke this 3-year downtrend, and bulls could really start to come in above this level of 100. So my first target will be 130 for ALB. And for those of you that do want to pick up this trade, I'm looking at the, I believe it was, yeah, March 21st expiration for 130 call. So March 21st, 2025, 130 call. That's the strike, and it's currently trading at 6.40. But I think we can pick this up for about 5.50 or even 5.0 sometime heading into this week. I think this will be a good one for the long term. We definitely have a good amount of time. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on this trade here. Do keep an eye out for lithium stocks, because I think rotation could flow into them. Let's see, where's the lithium analysis? I do want to read it just to. So ALB lithium stock getting significant inflows in the last few weeks, finally getting that downtrend breakout from the 3-year bear market downtrend. This could be the start of a new uptrend on lithium stocks. So it looks really good. All right. So, last but not least, team, we got DXCM, DXCM, Dexcom. This is a diabetes stock, and it looks really, really great. If you notice, do you pay attention to the RSI like I do, team? Because it's one of my favorite indicators, just like the TTM squeeze. And if you notice, even though the stock is going down, the RSI is going up. So what that means is this is the bullish divergence there. This is the bullish divergence, because it shows that the relative strength index is rising while price is coming down. So this is a bullish. I think this is very bullish. And if you don't have this contract with us, you can pick up DXCM June 20 expiration. Let's take a look. DXCM June 20 expiration, and you can pick up the 100 call currently trading at 4.20. If you don't have this contract with us, I recommend buying it here at 4.20. I think you're getting a really great deal on it, and it's an 100 strike. So as soon as you get any sort of news, this stock could move right back up. And yeah, so my brother used to work for this company, so that's why. Matter of fact, I even applied to their company, and they didn't hire me. They even had the interviews and everything, but somehow I just didn't get the job. Even though my brother recommended. How bad is that? But yeah, team, I think it looks good here. I think it looks good for us to try and get a test at this level of resistance around even 85 to try and at least to retest the downtrend. I mean, we are so far away from the 200 SMA line, and a lot of stocks that going into downtrends, what they end up doing is they at least go back up. They at least go back up, retest the 200 SMA line before they go down and resume the downtrend again. So their loss is our gain. But yeah, team DXCM, and again DXCM, the contract to pick up, we're already holding with the swing trade team. You can pick up the June 2025 100 call. Okay, the strike is going to be 100. So June 20, 2025, 100 call for DXCM. This is a good trade, good swing trade to hold for about 2 to 3 months, 2 to 4 months, I would say. Any thought on Chinese stocks such as JD, Baidu? Honest to God, rookie, I was thinking about shorting those stocks, thinking that there would be a pullback, but then I saw some news coming out. I think I saw some news over the weekend. A friend of mine shared it on. Let's see if I can find a screenshot of it. Oh yeah, right here. So I saw this coming out. Big news from China tomorrow. Senior officials from the National Development and Reform Commission are holding an emergency press conference to unveil a package of policies designed to boost economic momentum, optimize structural development, and sustain positive growth. This could have a significant impact on the U.S. market, especially for stocks with exposure to China. So Baidu, BABA. JD, L, we traded L, FCX. A lot of these stocks look like they can get upside, and yeah, they can benefit from this. So that's why I'm going to wait, and I'm not going to short Chinese stocks just yet. XOP, XOP, not sure what stock this is. Interesting. SPDR, oil and gas. Okay, I see. I think this is rising with XLE. So I'm sorry, I did forget to mention that we did call it out actually. We have been calling this out ever since last week. And yeah, energy has been doing really well. We did make some great profits on Velo. I'm still holding Velo. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for Velo to try and get above 145. I'm currently holding the January 17 155 call with the swing trade team, and so far we're up 100% on this contract. We were up 130%, but somehow it wasn't fair to us because Rain Bond stock, which was HAL was Rain Bond stock. She chose to trade that stock for the energy sector, and it ended up doing really well. It ended up going up 80%. But yeah, Velo did as well. I mean, we're up 100%, but for some reason, the stocks did get one more green day, and Velo just didn't. Like you see, XOM, this one got a massive green day on Friday, but XOM was red. So kind of disappointing. I wish we could have seen 150%, so we would have secured profits, but it does look like we could get more upside on the energy sector here. So USO was sweet. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I mentioned Dali. Oh yeah, that was you. I mentioned Oxy, and Oxy was a great one. I'm sorry I made you take profits early on, but usually if a trader is in doubt, it's good to take profits. But yeah, this one was really good. We got it from the very, very bottom. What do you think of VST? Oh my God, Jane, we missed out on VST. I'm kind of sad because the team did mention this one, and oh my gosh, look at VST. The reason why I even have this downtrend line is because the team mentioned it, and I was looking at it, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I think it's because of Chinese stocks. VRT. Kind of stock is this one. This one designs, manufactures, and services critical digital infrastructure technologies and lifecycle services for data centers. Team, speaking of industrials, I do want to mention DIA. DIA, look at DIA. Look how strong this ETF has been consolidating. Oh my gosh, this is the Dow Jones Industrials. It looks just very strong, and it's currently in a bull flag formation. And I think bulls can step in. I mean, industrial stocks have been so strong. They have UNH, which is United Health. They have GS, which is Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, HD, CAT, AMGN, McDonald's, CRM. So a lot of these stocks have been doing really well. If we look at CRM has been leading amazing. Caterpillar, this one's, oh my gosh, just doing really amazing. A lot of these stocks are doing really well. Oh, by the way, team, I did forget to mention Uber. Uber is a great stock to honestly buy if you want to buy a call on Uber. I'm not sure how the robo taxi is going to affect it, but I may end up buying any disruption if there's like a big pullback from the robo taxi. I think Uber is going to stay around for a long time. So I may pick up this 85 call for June 2025. So June 2025, 85 call for Uber, currently trading at 6.30. But with any big flush this week on the robo taxi Tesla news, I would love to pick up this contract around 4.30 or 5.0 or something. We'll be watching this one. And that concludes my analysis for today's session, team. I don't really have much else to share. Let's talk about Trip as well. I didn't really want to talk about it, but since we are holding a long-term position, this is a stock that just needs time. But since we are holding a long-term position, I do want to show you, for those that are holding, that Trip is looking very promising here. It could get a really nice move towards 17.95 area. No worries, Dali. I'm going to post a recording on the weekly watch list, and even in the chat room. Snow, I was looking at Snow, Sputnik, but I like Snow, but why are the contracts still so expensive? It kills me. But other than that, I think it looks amazing. Looks really good. We're back above the 20 EMA, and no matter what news the stock gets, we're still holding above 107. And we haven't broken down, and bulls are stepping in above the 20 EMA. I think they can step in from here. Mariupon, I see that you sent me a list of stocks, NVAX, IonQ. I do want to say that one name that stands out to me is SoFi. SoFi looks very, very bullish to me here. I think SoFi is going to break out from here and see some great upside. It looks very, very bullish to me on the bigger time frame, and I think it's going to get some nice upside from here. So definitely continue to watch SoFi, or if you're in the trade, I think that's good. Good time to be in it. SoFi looks good. SoFi looks good. Bulls are really stepping in, and they could see a bigger overall breakout from that downtrend there. Check JNUG. Let's take a look at What kind of stock is this? Gold. I see. Okay, so it's a two leverage for gold, 2x leverage for gold. Interesting, interesting. Um, yeah, I'm in CarMax as well as Siri. I don't like either of those positions just yet, but considering that Siri is a very long-term trade, it expires in June 2025. We have so much time, you guys. We have so much time. So being at these levels, just know. Here's the psychological way that I look at it. The fact that the stock is so low, the company is going to need to come up with some good stuff so that they can get the stock pretty much going back up. And I think for this reason, having time on our side there is a really is the wild factor there, the main factor. So we'll keep watching. For CarMax, I'm not really happy with the way this trade had worked out. I'm really disappointed. This is probably one of the first trades, momentum trades that failed, but yeah, let's see how this one still plays out. I may end up, actually, it's very likely that I may get out of this trade on Monday with a stop loss. Um, let's see. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, team, that's all for my analysis. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the night. I do want to keep this short. I want to keep the meeting short so that our team can watch it on their time. Those that weren't able to make it, or those that attended it late. NVAX. I'm not really a fan of NVAX stock, to be honest. Let's see this one. Wow, this one's a good one here. ENVX. That's a good one. Oh, this is a lithium stock too, Mariapon. This also ENVX. This is also a lithium stock, and it looks like it's getting some really strong momentum there. Some heavy buyers. Thank you so much, team. Thank you, Hamza. Thank you so much, Dali. Thank you all for attending today's session. Thank you so much, Christopher. Team, I will see you all in the Discord tomorrow, and let's have an amazing week. Please do keep in mind. Also, I'm going to post all of this, all the stocks that we discussed in the weekly watch list, so that you can all check it out tomorrow morning and pretty much be ready for it. Do keep those levels for SPY and QQQ in mind, and I hope you make some great profits, just like I hope to make it as well. So, very excited, team. Let's get a good week going. Take care.